I'm Andrew with designACE, and I am so excited to be talking to you today about metrics, all things that are analytics and how to use those analytics to really reach everyone who matters most to you. I am founder of designACE, an agency that helps entrepreneurs, small businesses, nonprofits, and leaders shine on LinkedIn by finding their authentic voice. So if you are curious about how to use LinkedIn and how to really leverage it as a tool in your belt, then please reach out to me and we can connect and I'm going to help you elevate. So I always love to level set with what is LinkedIn for and how is it different than other platforms. So LinkedIn isn't like Twitter. It's not like X, I should say. It's not like Facebook. LinkedIn is a platform for professionals to network, share knowledge, and build meaningful relationships. So this really goes far beyond any other platform. It's not just a resume and it's not just a tool to go out and 100 sales, although it can be those things. So when we talk about entrepreneurs, LinkedIn really is a place to showcase your expertise. It's a place to build your thought leadership and share your specific POV, and is a fabulous place to nurture existing relationships, whether those be professional, folks you've met at uni, folks you meet along the way throughout your career, or new friends that you're meeting through networking. And ultimately, that's the goal, is to build your network beyond your immediate connections and open yourself to new opportunities. So today we're going to be focusing on just how we can leverage metrics to do just how we can leverage analytics and metrics to understand what drives meaningful outcomes. We're going to talk about how you can leverage the built-in tools within LinkedIn to find new ways to elevate your content, elevate your connections, and ultimately find new paths for you to accomplish your goals. So before we get into the detail on how you can use analytics, I thought it would be really helpful if we did a quick crash course on what are key metrics and what they mean and how they differentiate from one another. Really quickly, something that we hear a lot about is impressions. And this is the number of times your content appears in somebody else's feed. So this doesn't mean that they've necessarily interacted. It just means that it has showed up in their feed. Reach is the actual number of unique users who have seen your content. Unlike impressions, which also includes the same person seeing your post multiple times, reach shows the actual breadth of your content and how many unique users it's made its way to. Engagement is next, and this is everything from likes, comments, shares, saves, clicks, all the interactions that you get within post count as your engagement score. Saves is when a user bookmarks your post or revisits it later, and it's one of the strongest signals for long-term value. And it boosts the visibility of future content too, because it means that somebody's going to come back to it. Shares, when your content is reposted by someone to their network, is huge. It means that somebody liked what you're saying and they actually want to take your content and share it out with their audience. Comments is text-based engagement, which we love, which we hope for. This is the best type of engagement you can get, in my personal opinion. And clicks is when a user clicks on a link, an image, a profile, or the see more. We also talk about dwell time a lot, which is the time a user spends on your post, even without reacting. And search appearance is really important as well. And it talks about how often your profile appears in search results. So how often somebody searches, for example, a LinkedIn specialist, and the number of times my name would appear in that search would result in search appearance. So let's talk about data and how we can do the heavy lifting on our content. I feel often with LinkedIn, it feels like we are throwing darts in the dark. And metrics really highlight what resonates. So it gives us a clear path on no longer just throwing spaghetti at the wall, but seeing what resonates, doesn't resonate, and then ultimately saves us time and improves our results in the future. So this is really important. I feel like a lot of the time we are about to post something, we feel like it's going to be killer. We love it. We spent time on it. We've done the work. We feel like we've done the work, and then it just lands flat. We don't see any comments. We don't see any clicks. we don't see any reactions. So it's really important in those moments to pause and to use metrics and analytics to better understand what's working and what's not working. And this ultimately turns your profile into opportunities, whether it's leads, connections. The goal that you set for yourself will be unlocked. Your understanding how analytics and metrics work for you. So let's jump in. Let's talk about how we can use analytics on a personal level and on professional level. So first, I'm going to give you a quick win. Go check your profile views right now. If they've dropped, your next post needs to have a killer hook, because the first 80 to 100 characters of a post, and don't settle for being ignored. So really take a post that hasn't worked well and reimagine the hook. What can you redo in that first line or two of your post that might actually increase the number of clicks, the engagement that you're seeing? And when you increase the engagement and you increase the comments, the algorithm is going to pick the post and it's going to share it more and more. So you're going to get more dwell time. If you get more dwell time and engagement, you're going to get more impressions and unique users that are actually seeing your posts. So take something that hasn't worked based off of your analytics and try to give it a new second life. So we really work with two groups of people, folks that are trying to build their professional profile and folks that are trying to build their profile. And we're going to talk about today. So when we talk about building your personal profile, we talk about profile views. When we talk about, sorry, I'm just getting some feedback there. I'm just going to put my headphones on and see if this improves the quality. Sorry, I was getting a little bit of feedback on that. So hopefully these headphones improve. Sorry if the quality wasn't great there. So when we talk about your personal profile, we talk about your profile views. This shows whether your content is grabbing attention and where it is falling short. So ultimately, we want to drive profile views because that means you're being noticed and that you're showing up in search appearance. So your post performance shows how each post is performing on an individual level. This things like likes, comments, shares, and even click-through rates. So when we talk about how we can use these two together, if you improve your post performance, then a lagging indicator of that would be improving your profile views because you're getting your voice out there. Search appearance also has the metric that shows keywords that lead to, sorry, I'm just getting feedback here. I'm not sure my mic isn't giving everything that I want to today. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And today just does not seem to be my day. When it comes to audio problems, your search appearance is the metrics that show keywords that led users to helping you refine your SEO. So if you're not sure about SEO, think about how people search for think about those 2 to 3 words that somebody might use to stumble across you. So for me, keywords are LinkedIn expert, LinkedIn profile optimization, LinkedIn support, things like this that somebody might search for when looking for somebody like me who can help them improve their profile. And then audience breakdown. So this is a great, once you have folks that have viewed your profile, and that have viewed and engaged with your posts, you can then get a breakdown of who they are. So this is really amazing if you're targeting specific groups, as we all are. For me, I'm always trying to connect entrepreneurs, nonprofits. So I go over the audience breakdown and I always take a look specifically at who is connecting and making sure that posts I'm putting out and how they perform is connecting. So it's really important to think about each of these individually and then also how these metrics connect. Next set of metrics that are really important is how your company page analytics work. So your first top of all is your follower insights. Discover who's following you, and that includes things like jobs, industry, location, and can really, again, help you be very targeted in understanding the audience that you're cultivating for your company page. Visitor analytics is a little bit different because this helps you profile folks that are visiting, but that don't actually follow your page. So think about this as your followers are your true believers and your visitors are folks that might come to your page and just take a resource or might just be investigating for finding a new vendor that they are looking for. So both are really important and can be used independently. Content performance is, you guessed it, how your content is performing. So that's things like posts, text, images, videos, carousels. And really what's amazing here is you want to take a look at what content is working for your audience. So for us, we know that videos and carousels work really well. So when we're doing our content planning, we make sure that we have a good set of videos. And when we then even look at videos, we like to look very specifically at format. So we see that videos that are done in real mobile style, things that are done with a vertical format, outperform videos that are done horizontally or WebEx style. And then lastly is your engagement rate. And this is understanding how well your content is doing. And personally, one of my favorite metrics when it comes to gauging interactions. It's great to have a high follower count. It's wonderful to get lots of impressions. But if folks aren't actually engaging with your content, if they're not commenting, if you're not driving them to click through and come to your end result, then ultimately it is for nothing. Really, it's important to have a North Star. For us at designACE, our engagement rate is our North Star metric. I'd love for you to, quick win for you today is to open your analytics tool and in your personal profile and focus on what content resonates. Take a look and see if you have had your recent posts that your videos are performing well. If you're doing text only, maybe they're not doing as well. And plan out your next 3 posts and make sure that they fall into your highest performing category. So let's take a look, let's learn, and then let's plan out our next 3 posts to make sure that they fall in that category. For a company page, analyze your visitor activity and test new posts for the format that sparks the best insights. So again, whether you have a personal page or a company page, you're going to take a look and you are going to find what works best for you and how you can replicate. And what I encourage everyone to always do is set a SMART goal. So when we talk about statistics and analytics, it's really important for us to have a base of what we're trying to accomplish so that we can measure ourselves against it. So when we talk about SMART goals, this is very commonly used. It is goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and that are time-bound. So we want to make sure that we are being smart. So an example of this is instead of just saying I want more followers, you could say I want to increase my network by 100 connections in the next 30 days by sending personalized requests each day. So this is a way for you to, instead of just saying, hey, this is what I want to do, you're saying very specifically what you want to achieve 100 new connections. This is also a way that you can measure it because you can see if you did, at the end of the day, collect 100 new connections. And you're also making sure that it's achievable because you're giving yourself a time frame that is very realistic and also how you're going to achieve that. Really, you're wrapping all of these things. So I would encourage you to spend some time and think about what your SMART goal is. And once you have a SMART goal, think about how you're going to use that SMART, how you're going to achieve that. So then take it one step further. So think about what your SMART goal is, and then think about 3 actions that you can take to help yourself achieve that. So if you want to go out and get those connection requests, you could start by writing out a new connection request form. You could come up with a list of leads that you want to connect with over the next 100 days. You could set yourself up for what tools you're going to use to track and to actually make sure that you're getting them out there. So think about your SMART goal and what are the next 3 actions that you need to take to accomplish that. And I hope one of those actions is also booking a LinkedIn audit with us. We love to help folks. So we offer free 15-minute LinkedIn audit. This is a fantastic way for you to connect with me. I'll give you all the tea on how your profile is performing, how your searchability is, what posts are doing well, where we can improve them. We really do offer this very much for free. And I promise that you will walk away, not with a sales pitch, but with some actionable tools and recommendations that you can don immediately on your own without our help or our services. So please book a LinkedIn audit with us, and we will make sure that in 15 minutes you're walking away with a profile that shines just a little bit brighter. Spot the content that makes your audience say, more of this, please. So this is a great focus of how to use analytics and stats from LinkedIn. So ultimately, we are using this time to reflect on how we can improve. So a couple of ways that we can do that is doubling down on what's working. Look for the content that's performing the best. And if a carousel post sparks conversation, give your audience more. Now, what I don't want you to do is just copy and paste that and give them the exact same. Always need to be reinventing what's working. So it's that balance of how can I give them more carousels with new knowledge, new perspectives, and fresh takes so that this doesn't feel stale. And then also you're going to save time by skipping the flops. Things that are working, you're going to get rid of. I stopped doing polls last year because polls were a huge waste of time from my perspective. I don't know why, but polls were just the 20 or 30 polls I tried, like two of them really got responses and weren't like my dad. Thank you so much, Gary, for always responding to a poll, but I wasn't sparking the engagement that I wanted. So I now don't do polls anymore. But what we are doing is we're doing a lot more video. 30 seconds, we see that's the sweet spot. And we do them in that TikTok style, the real style that really is connecting LinkedIn and making sure that we're turning that engagement into visible understanding. Okay, these are things that are working and how I can use them. So something else that you might not know, in your analytics tab, you can see how your competitors are doing. And you'll always get the top 3 posts from your competitors, that the top 3 posts that are performing best from the last 30 days. So you have 10 competitors that you can change up as often as you want with a pro account. And what I recommend you doing is taking a look at what your competitors' top 3 posts are, and then sitting down and thinking, how can I give a fresh spin to these posts? How can I take this and make it my own? Don't just copy it into ChatGPT and say, can you rewrite this from the perspective of me? Really do the work and see what you can learn from that post and what you can add and how you can remix it with your own perspective. Ultimately, you do want to be authentic in your storytelling. So think about how you can get that one post out a week that will get you your best results. So you're going to do this by seeing what others are doing well, seeing what you're doing well, and then marrying those two. And ultimately, by understanding what you're not doing well, you're going to save your time and avoid. So learn from your competitors, learn from yourself. And those are just a couple of ways that you can use content to really accomplish your goals on LinkedIn. Scroll through. So the quick win for you is to scroll through your analytics and find your top 3 posts. Take one and reimagine it today. Save energy with a new perspective. So this is something we love to do, is see what has worked really well in the past for you, and not just from a format perspective, but from a post perspective, and see if you can do even better. Often we'll make an announcement and that announcement went really well. And then I think, okay, my next announcement, what went well in my last announcement that I will borrow from? What are structures that I can reuse, that I can repurpose, and how can I bring it fresh light? Always encourage folks to work smarter, not harder. And this is just one of the ways that you can do that. Really simple. Go find your top 3 posts and figure out how you can reimagine it. Go check out your competitors' top 3 posts and see how you can reimagine those as well. And finally, what I want to talk about is how you can optimize like a pro and keep growing so you can keep winning bought the dip. So ultimately, I've been talking a lot about what's working. If your search appearances start to go down, then to week, by example, that is something that I would call like a bit of a dip in your search appearances. So you can think about how you can refresh keywords or your headline to bring new SEO to your page and improve your searchability. LinkedIn is a platform that loves it when you're updating your profile picture, updating your headline, updating your About Me section. So really, if you are seeing that dip in search appearances and page visits, then it's a good time to make a little bit of a refresh for you. Keep up with the trends. Media is always moving fast. By staying active, it helps keep you in the game. So see what other folks are talking about. A couple of years ago, everyone was talking about working from home versus working from the office. I had many a POV folks right now might be talking about, as we get into Pride season, are starting to plan the things that they are going to be talking about over Pride. That's the big event that happens every year. So what can I do in that trend that is authentic to my voice and that can help me bring attention and bring engagement to my profile? And turn tweaks into triumphs. Even small updates can make big results. That updated profile picture can really help you find new views. I like to say it's almost like having it's a new season, so maybe it's time for a new profile picture. But more importantly, maybe it's time for a couple new search keywords. Take a look at your analytics and see what's working, what's not working, and then spend a little bit of time as a quick win. Spend a little bit of time in your About Me section. We always tell people to work in little bite-sized tidbits, so it's not too much energy to do everything at once. So what I would encourage you to do is take a look at your folks are coming, what search appearances are bringing people to your page, what you want them to accomplish when they're on your page, and take a couple minutes to rethink your About Me section Make sure you're using the full amount of characters so that you have the highest searchability. And ultimately, this is a really easy something that you can do in 30 minutes that'll help you bring new life to your profile. And then, of course, once you've made those updates, monitor and see if they're working. So we don't always get it right the first time. And that's the whole focus of today's session is make these updates and then view whether your search appearances are going up or if they're going down. Try some new content and see, is this sparking more engagement or less engagement? Make some updates to your company profile page and see if that helps it ultimately grow its page follower or so. These are little ways to do micro tests and ensure that you are constantly using analytics to grow your business and grow your personal brand. I would love to tell you just a little bit about designACE and some of the ways we'd love to help, because I know as I'm talking through this, it probably is a lot of work for some of you, and you're sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, I can't do all of this myself. And that's why designACE is around. We're here to help you unify your brand and optimize your profile in a way that is easy and interactive and authentic. And we do that in combination with you. We co-create with you to make sure that you are building a community around you that reflects your goals and helps you accomplish what you've set out on LinkedIn to do. So from SEO strategies to create content for you, designACE is here to support your LinkedIn journey. And next, we're going back to how we can help you power up your profile and make a LinkedIn profile that really shines and resonates. So please don't miss that. So we will see you then. And thank you so much for joining us today.